Hey, how y'all doing? Sitting here at the front of my Baja. This video is going to be kind of an experiment because I haven't found any factual information on what I'm about to do. This front end has been lifted. I cut and cranked the front beams. There's lots of videos out there on that. It's where you actually cut the center out where the grub screw goes in to hold the torsion spring, and you rotate it 1/4 of an inch and it gives you more lift, or you can rotate it the other way, it'll lower your car. Or they make adjusters that you can weld in there. Well, this doesn't have adjusters, it's been cut and cranked is what they call it. So move it 1/4 inch and it gives you about 3 inches of lift. Okay. Plus also it has things, spindles and trailing arms on it, which gives it more lift. Well, going down the road, you get up around 50 or 60 miles an hour and she wants to dart all over the road, you know, and doesn't want to track, doesn't want to go back to straight. So through some of my research, they make caster shims, and caster shims go behind the beam. They're usually used for lowering a vehicle, or you can even add them to a stock vehicle, and it changes the angle of your caster and it puts your wheels more forward so that it tracks better at higher speeds. I'm going to bring you over here in front of the other chassis and give you a demonstration and kind of explain what's going on. Okay, so I'm sitting here in front of the 73 thing chassis that I've been restoring. I'm over here for demonstration purposes. I ordered this kit. It's a caster shim kit. It says for lowered beams with adjusters. I'll show you a better picture of that right here. Okay, so you've got longer bolts. These are about 1/4 to 1/2 inch longer because these shims, give me a second. The shims here, they're about 1/4 of an inch thick, and they're contoured to fit in this bulkhead between the bulkhead and the front beam. And you get a pair of them. Alright. Okay, when you lower a vehicle, or even on a stock vehicle, you can put these on the lower side like this. And what that does is it kicks the bottom of your beam out and it changes your caster. Alright. To explain caster, I'll try to explain caster here. Well, I'll try to explain all of it. When you do front end alignment on your vehicle, there's three different settings. Okay, you got your toe in. Okay, picture with me here. These are your front tires. Okay, you're looking at me. You're looking at the front of the car. Toe in is if your tires are adjusted in at this angle. Toe out is if they're adjusted out. Then you got camber, which is this way. Positive and negative camber, positive and negative toe in. Then you got caster, which is like this. Okay. And on a stock bug and a lowered bug, you get negative caster, which means the front axle is actually tilted back away from the front like this, and the caster shims will kick them to the front. And there's lots of videos on this, and if you're like me, I do a lot of research on this stuff. Okay, y'all bear with me, I'm trying to explain this. Okay, this is your this is the spindle. Okay, on a stock bug, this axis right here, this is your spindle coming out, is almost straight up and down. And when you lower a car, it kicks that back. So you have negative caster. And the shims, when you put them in there, it'll kick it forward a little bit. And it's supposed to increase the stability of your car and improve the steering. And on the other side of it, it'll make your steering a little heavier, a little harder to turn. But here's where everything gets kind of confusing. Okay, so when you lower a vehicle, or even on a stock bug, you can add these to the bottom. And it'll give you positive caster. Okay. I've seen a couple different videos, and I haven't really found a whole lot of information on it, but when your vehicle is raised, you can add these to the top, and it's supposed to, I don't know, I guess when you raise one, it's got too much positive caster, maybe. I'm not real sure. That's what this video is about. We're going to figure it out. But a couple different videos I've seen said if your vehicle is raised, like in a Baja scenario, you put these on the top. Okay? So we're going to try it and see what happens. I haven't seen any other videos where they've been applied this way. I've seen a lot of them, videos where they put it on the bottom on a lower car or a stock car. But this video is for raised vehicles, Baja style, because this is the Baja channel. So we're gonna, I'm not putting them on this, I'm putting them on the Baja, but we're gonna go put these in on the top and see what happens. I guess that's pretty much what it's going to be. I've got a picture, I'll put it in right here and show you the difference between the caster, camber, and toe in. So I hope that kind of explained it. If not, you know, do your research, look at other videos. I've looked at forums, I've looked at videos, I've looked at forums, I've read, there's nothing in the Bentley service manual, because that's all, you know, original equipment, OEM stuff. But we're going to try this, because I got to figure out how to make this thing steer better going down the road, because she wants to wander and it don't want to come back to center. And it's kind of scary if you get up around 50 or 60 miles an hour. Normally I won't be driving this thing that fast, but you know, sometimes I will. And when you're going down the road and it's all you can do to hold it in the road, that's not good. So I'm going to put these things on, and I may show you some of that, I may not. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just you loosen all these bolts off that hold the beam on, Don't pull them all the way out. Just loosen them off. You slide them in. Then you replace these bolts right here. The bolts that come in this kit that are about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch longer than the stock ones to make up for that thickness of the shim. So, and then you always want to torque these to the proper specs. I've seen in the Bentley book these torque between 36 and 51 foot-pounds. So, you know, I guess they give you a little bit of leeway of what you want to torque them to. But they are grade 8. They're great. They're 8.5s actually. So, yeah, I'm gonna put these in and we'll take it for a ride and see how it works. Okay, so I've jacked the car up just to where the wheels will turn, just barely, and put jack stands under it. One on this side, one on that side over there, just to kind of support everything in case something wonky goes on. I don't want this thing falling off and killing me. So here at the front of the car, I've got the gas tank removed. I've got the front fiberglass nose pulled off of it. I thought I was going to have to pull this bumper off, but luckily I didn't. But pulled all this off so I could get to these tie rods, because after I get all this in, I'm going to have to readjust the toe in. We'll get to that in a little bit though. Okay, so here's another issue I found. These body mount bolts right here. I want to back them off, pull them out so this beam will slide out, come away from the body, come away from the bulkhead. Also, I've got these massive conglomerations of weld that I did here when I cut this beam, trying to get this shim in, so gotta get around that, but we'll get it there. But I'm gonna back these out, see if this beam will go forward a little bit more so I can get these shims in. Got them in. It's getting late. Probably gonna call it a night tonight, but it'll just be a couple seconds for you guys. I'll be back down there tomorrow. We'll set the toe in on this and get everything bolted up, take it for a ride, see if it's better or see if it's worse or what. Then we'll know the answers to this conundrum. So I'll see y'all in a little bit. Okay, so it's the next day, as you can tell by the daylight. I'm going to check the toe in on this. It's pretty simple. All you need is a tape measure, and it helps if you got somebody to hold the dummy in for you, or if you don't know how to read a tape measure, I guess you can hold the dummy in. Since I don't have somebody to hold it for me, I've got a piece of tape, and I'm going to stick into my tape measure against one of the treads. Stick a piece of tape over it. Hold it in place. And I'll come over here to the other side. Check it on the other tread. Put my glasses on, because being able to read a tape measure and being able to see it are two completely different things. But looking right here, 58 13/16. Okay, now I'll check it on the back side. The same places. 58 13/16. Now we'll put it in the same spot. Check the other one. I'm reading 58 and 7/8. So 13/16 to 7/8. That's a 1/16 of an inch toe in, and that's good. I expected it to change a little bit, but it didn't. So. So I'm going to put the gas tank back in. I pulled the gas tank in case I had to adjust that, because it's easier, because you can get right to your tie rods and stuff in there if you have to make adjustments. I don't have to make any adjustments, so we're good to go. So I'm going to put the tank back in, bolt a couple things up, and we'll take it for a ride. Well, alright. Test drive was unsuccessful. Not pleased at all. Actually, it was kind of scary. I got her up probably close to 70. I have the sound off. Y'all wouldn't have been able to hear me anyway. It's really loud inside the car. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend putting caster shims on the top beam if you have a raised vehicle. Unless somebody out there knows something different that I might have missed, please leave me a comment. Let me know. My next step, I'm going to pull them back out and put them in the bottom just for shits and giggles to see if it changes something. And I'll probably just end up pulling them back out and putting it back the way it was, because it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great, but yeah, it was worse this time. This drive was bad. So I'm going to leave this one right here and probably do some more work. Probably take all that back apart, put them shims on the bottom, bolt it back up. I'm not going to film any of that. May bring y'all along for the test ride again. We'll see what it does. I hope this was helpful to somebody, and like I said, if somebody's got more information on this than I do, I'd love to hear it. But my experience, don't put caster shims on the top beam. It did not improve it. It made it worse. And this car is lifted quite a bit, and I've seen a couple of people comment. I haven't seen any actual video of somebody putting them on a Baja, but I've had a couple people. I've heard a couple people comment that you put them on the top if it's raised. If it's lowered, you put them on the bottom. Or if it's a stock car, you can put them on the bottom to improve the handling. But not the case in this one. So there you go. I went ahead off camera, pulled those shims out of the top, stuck them in the bottom of the beam. Got everything bolted back together and everything, and I took it for a ride. And I tell you what, this thing drives 10 times better than it did before I lifted the car. So I know I've seen a couple videos on these shims, caster shims, and some people tell you to put them in the top for a raised Baja. Don't do that. Put them in the bottom. If you want to, if you raise your Baja up and it's not steering good, get you some caster shims. Make sure you get the longer bolts for the caster shims. Put them on the bottom, just like you would if you were low on a bug. And I guarantee you, it's going to ride 10 times better. So, in conclusion, that's where we're going to leave this one. I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks. Bye.